The Evan Fournier drama continues for the New York Knicks because recently he did another interview internationally where he was talking about the New York Knicks, how he feels about the New York Knicks, the fact that he wants to be traded, and he also made a very explosive comment that we'll go into detail about because it had the internet world ablaze when he said it. We're also going to look at Mitchell Robinson's trainer as he's pleading with Thibodeau to use Mitchell Robinson more offensively. We're going to look at this and so much more today. Let's get started. Evan Fournier stated that he feels like a hostage. So after this summer that just passed, where he had very explosive comments for the New York Knicks, questioning what they did in practice, questioning the moves that they were making, but more importantly, questioning Tom Thibodeau and his relationship with him, basically saying he had no relationship. And now after all of that happens, according to the New York Post Zach Braziller, he stated that during an interview with French radio station RTL, that Evan Fournier stated that he felt like he was being held hostage by the team. Here are some exact quotes from Fournier, and I can tell you one thing, they're a little bit explosive to say the least. "I'm still in New York at the moment. I want to leave." Mind you, he's saying this on an open radio station. I want to leave. But beyond leaving, I want to have the opportunity to get some playing time back. That's all. That's mostly it. Because in New York, I feel extremely good. I love living there. I love the franchise. I love playing at Madison Square Garden. I love the guys on this team. That was a little bit different from what he was saying during the summer, where he had a lot of criticism for the New York Knicks, especially the coaching staff and also the development staff, given what they were doing during practice. So he had a lot of comments, not only for Tom Thibodeau, but for the Knicks entirely. So to hear him now come back and say these comments about New York, the franchise, and everything like that, it seems like he's walking it back just a little bit. But let's continue here. He also states, "So I just want to play. That's all. It's true that finding another club, changing franchises, if that's what you have to do to play again, then that's what I would like to do." Here's where the comments get even more explosive. He states here, "If I knew, for example, that the coach was going to give me 10 to 15 minutes here and there, I know that I can make the most of it and grab minutes gradually and perform well." That's what Fournier stated. He continues by stating the following, "But that's not even the case. I don't have the opportunity to play. And even worse, I feel like I'm being held hostage." Being held hostage. Fournier making $18.9 million to sit on the bench feels like he's being held hostage. Evan Fournier again with more explosive comments, but let's continue them. "I hope this situation will resolve itself, and I especially hope that the Knicks will give me a chance." Hold on. You're asking for a chance from the New York Knicks, a team that you openly criticized during the summer, questioning what they were doing during practice and also questioning the decisions they were making on a management level, and then afterwards you're asking to be openly traded multiple times. In this article, you state you feel like a hostage. You state you want to be traded. You say that openly moving franchises would help potentially with your playing time. And then you end your comments by saying that you hope the New York Knicks will play you again? After everything you've said and done over the last few months? Even if I'm Tom Thibodeau at this point in time, I feel a little slighted by what you stated. And I think you create a toxic environment. I'm not going to want to play you after everything you said. I didn't want to play you last year given your defensive liabilities. You have the same defensive liabilities now, and you've made these comments. You think anybody would be just lining up wanting to play Fournier right now? I don't think so. And I especially don't think Tom Thibodeau is wanting to do that. So I don't think this cry for attention or help or for more playing time for the New York Knicks to play him, I don't think it's going to happen for Fournier. If anything, he better hope and pray that the New York Knicks can move him before the start of the season. Because I'm thinking as of right now, they may not be able to move Evan Fournier. And the reason for that is pretty clear. Nobody wants him. He has no value. And if anybody does want him, they want him with draft compensation attached. And with the New York Knicks, Leon Rose specifically, you know how he is. He does not like to overpay for anything, regardless of what is going to get him or net him in return. He wants to pay a fair value price, or he wants to underpay and get what he wanted anyways. But he's definitely not overpaying for any single thing. And we have to make sure we understand that and make that clear here. So pairing that, along with the comments of, I feel like I'm being held hostage, if you put all that together, it leads to another season, if Evan Fournier is still part of the New York Knicks, of him riding the bench and not getting any minutes. I can't see him getting any single minute for the New York Knicks headed into next season. Even before he made any comment, I couldn't see him getting any more minutes. After the comments, right now, in my opinion, it's more impossible, actually, because I don't see it happening under Tom Thibodeau anymore. Evan Fournier, again, great three-point shooter, broke the New York Knicks franchise record for three-pointers made in a single season, so we know what he can do. The Knicks probably should have traded him at that point in time when his value was the highest for the New York Knicks. Now his value is so low, it doesn't matter anymore. The Knicks are likely going to hold on to him just to see if an opportunity arises where they can use that salary filler to help facilitate a trade for the New York Knicks to get a significant piece back that they can use to build with. But far from that happening, I don't see the New York Knicks actually moving on from Evan Fournier. I see them keeping him on the bench until they can waive him next season because, again, he has a team option for his contract. So because of that, we can waive him next season. He won't be on the books, and we won't have to deal with him anymore. And it might make sense to do that versus trading him away with draft compensation, losing things in the process just to get him off the team because you want to be rid of that quote-unquote toxicity. I'm sorry to say it, Evan, but if you were looking to be traded this offseason, the New York Knicks did try to trade you. They openly tried to trade you. The unfortunate part was they couldn't get a deal done. So because of that, whether you love it or you hate it, you're going to be a New York Knicks next season, and you're going to ride that bench again next season because I can't see you getting any playing time at all. Mitchell Robinson's trainer recently called out Tom Thibodeau and asked for him to use Mitchell Robinson more offensively. So as you probably have seen with Mitchell Robinson, if you've been following him on social media throughout the offseason, he has been working on his game, working on his conditioning, but more importantly, one of the main things he's been working on are those free throws. And in a recent Instagram post by his trainer, Mitchell Robinson's trainer said the following about Mitchell Robinson's game, what he's been doing, and he also asked for Tom Thibodeau to hopefully use him more offensively. Here's the exact comments that Marcel Scott, Mitchell Robinson's trainer, posted on Instagram. Marcel wrote of Mitchell, "Offseason is officially over. I can say he improved his free throw shooting. His athleticism is back from him buying into the pool workouts. Mitch has developed a few go-to moves with his back to the basket. Please, Coach Thibodeau, give him that freedom on the offensive end." This is a plea, a cry, if you will, from Marcel Scott, Mitchell Robinson's trainer, basically stating to Tom Thibodeau, we've been working on a lot of things with Mitchell Robinson, even some post moves where his back is to the basket. And apparently, to his trainer, it looks good enough for him to say to Tom Thibodeau, use it in practice, see how you like it. And if you like it, you should use Mitchell Robinson more offensively. Because if you do, you're going to help the New York Knicks, but you're probably also going to help Mitchell Robinson's confidence, especially on the offensive end. Because I can argue, under Tom Thibodeau, I feel like Mitchell Robinson has regressed just a little bit on offense with Thibs because he's not really asked to do much on that end. He's really asked to be that defensive monster that he's been for the New York Knicks these past seasons under Tom Thibodeau. But it is unfair if he has more of an offensive game, if he's limited from showcasing that under Tom Thibodeau. If he has the ability to do it, I think Tom Thibodeau owes it to Mitchell Robinson to at least look at it in practice, see if it could benefit the New York Knicks, and if it could help him. But right here, what you're watching right now is essentially what he's been working on all offseason long, those free throws. It doesn't look great. The form looks a little bit better, though, I can say. I still don't like that he looks at the floor and the ball a little bit too much, looks up the basket fast, and then releases the ball. I don't think that's a high accuracy shot. This is a free throw. You're on the line. Take your time a little bit. Make sure you're comfortable with the shot, and then take it. Sometimes it's going to go in. Sometimes it's going to go out. That's the nature of the game, especially for Mitchell Robinson at his size and what he's come into the league shooting. We can't fault him too much for being a knockdown, straight-up free throw shooter, but what we can praise him for is the fact that he is practicing day in and day out, according to his trainer, free throw shooting. And while the shot looks just a little bit better, it doesn't look completely there yet, I will say that. and I also think he still needs a lot more work. But the fact that he's even putting in work is something to look at and something to praise. And if he can continue doing that and potentially hit more 2 than 1 free throws when he's at the line, that's going to help the New York Knicks in the long run. And practicing them each and every day, day in and day out, regardless of how good you are at it, regardless of what your size is, regardless of what your percentages were when you started shooting them. Consistency will build up that particular percentage, and you'll get better and better each and every time you practice. So it's more of a mental thing than anything else. If Mitchell Robinson can knock down consistent free throws for the New York Knicks, and he can do that all next season, even that is enough for the New York Knicks to be elevated into an even better team. That's how much free throw shooting and Mitchell Robinson's impact on offense is needed for the New York Knicks. It's important that we talk about these things because Mitchell Robinson just being the defensive anchor for the New York Knicks is not going to work all the time. We need more from him on offense, and it can't just be rebounding and put back dunks. It needs to be more. Like his trainer said, I need to see more post moves, more back to the basket moves. If he has them, if he's been developing them, if they're any good, Tom Thibodeau owes it to Mitchell Robinson to see what it looks like and use it if it's effective. I can't wait to see what Mitchell Robinson can do for the New York Knicks next season, and I hope and pray that Tom Thibodeau listens to Marcel Scott, Mitchell Robinson's trainer, and actually uses him more offensively, because that's not only going to benefit Mitchell Robinson, it's going to benefit this New York Knicks team trying to take that 3rd spot in the East. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.